Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Shockwave48 here, and welcome back to another video. And of course, everyone is excited for the new season of My Hero Academia, guys, and we're getting a lot of spoilers around social media. And I know you guys can't help yourself by just looking what's going to happen on the new season that's coming up very soon. So, even though we got like 2 months around, so it's not that that long for us to wait, but we're preparing for ourselves to watch this new season. I'm also ready because I love this show. I love the show very much, and I wish to continue on for a little while. That's me. Sorry. So, everyone in this season, this is pretty much going to be an all-out war between heroes and villains, and the heroes are going to go all out to beat all the villains they possibly can, so they can make the world peace, I guess. But we got some serious issues around what's going to happen if these heroes are actually going to survive. So we're going to be looking at this little video about Bakugo really just died. And I know some of you guys from My Hero Academia who are really true fans are asking yourselves, is he's not dead? He is dead. And most of you guys are saying, I'm glad he's dead. Well, to be honest, guys, I never liked Bakugo at first, and I really didn't, because in the way he treated Deku in the past, of course, when they were kids, and the way he was now in season 5, he really wasn't, kind to to Deku, of course, and he's still the same Bakugo as from season 1, of course. So yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm glad he's dead, but if he is dead in this season, rest in peace. All right. So yeah. So we're gonna look at this video of how he actually died and stuff. So yeah.
I never thought Horikoshi would actually do it, but this week's chapter is genuinely something so shocking that I still can't believe it happened. Finally, the stakes within My Hero Academia have been risen, though some fans may not like the cost. Chapter 362, titled Light Fades to Rain, continues with Tamaki and his massive cannon attack. Last week we got this beautiful 2-page spread of Tamaki and his Denjure enhanced cannon. As he prepares to shoot Shigaraki, Tamaki thinks back to the words of encouragement he has received from Fat Gum, Kirishima, Tetsu, and most importantly, Mirio. Tamaki even compares what they say to blinding light or a great treasure, and just like that we get more Tamaki development. The big three have been seeing a lot of spotlight these last few chapters, and it's been great. Tamaki recognizes that he wasn't able to really accept the compliments of his fellow heroes, and how those words felt like a burden. Until now.
Goodness gracious.
Tamaki sees them as the strength he needs in this fight. This man has really come a long way.
I never thought
and you gotta
Tamaki was
love it.
so
From there,
powerful.
a massive plasma beam is fired off by the cannon Tamaki created, which we know to be cornucopia combination.
That
plasma
is a
cannon.
huge
Truly,
plasma
it is
cannon.
such a big moment for such a timid hero. He has grown from someone so insecure to a hero taking on the ultimate evil that is Shigaraki. Unfortunately, well, more like unsurprisingly, it does absolutely nothing to Shigaraki. He
Dang
practically
it.
swallows the insane attack with his mutated arm. It is a harrowing situation that reminds the heroes and us that they are fighting a losing battle. At the end of the day, Shigaraki is more monster than man anymore. In spite of that, Mirio is still able to land a punch on Shigaraki. Admirably,
Oh my
he is fighting
goodness, he was able to
Shigaraki in
phase
close
through?
quarters, considering what the villain is capable of while quirkless.
Wait, I thought he
But let's
lost his
get back
quirk
to
in
the
season
fight.
4.
Tamaki's beam is so powerful, it physically
Weird.
pushes the arena. Strong enough to move a mobile battlefield, but does absolutely nothing against Shigaraki. His durability is ridiculous. Smoke covers the battlefield from Tamaki's cannon, while we see the big three all in different shots of defeat. Nejire looks battered and exhausted, questioning why Tamaki's strongest attack had no effect. Interestingly enough, there is a clear shot of her torso. And her wound is in Gran Torino levels of bad, thankfully.
Ooh.
She was pretty much at the top of my death
hope she's
list,
okay.
so good to see that she's okay. Meanwhile, Tamaki
Good,
is pushed back by
good,
one of
alright.
Shigaraki's tendrils, and Mirio himself is utilizing his quirk while also receiving wounds himself. They aren't like Nejire or Tamaki's, but it only shows the dire straits they are in. I must admit that seeing the big three so dejected like this is really setting the tone for this fight, especially because of the flashbacks we saw of them in the last chapter. Nejire's development especially cemented this. She is continuing to fight despite how exhausted she must be because of her quirk. And I'm gonna be honest, I really wish these guys could have been looking cool together, not against Shigaraki. Why is the one time we get to see the big three actually do their job and be the big three up against a guy who they cannot even phase? It's like Miruko, being as powerful as she is, having her first fight against a crowd of high-end Nomu. There's just no winning that. Regardless, it is a
They're really
race
hard to
against
kill,
time
too.
until Deku can arrive.
Those
Even
Nobu guys are
Shigaraki
tough.
knows that. He keeps up with his routine hero mocking. Shigaraki then calls them delusional for believing they have a chance against him. And you know what, as rude as he is, Shigaraki is right. He's easily fighting off multiple heroes while quirkless. If he had his quirks, multiple at that, we'd be remiss to even call it a fight to begin with. And so I am genuinely surprised that we haven't seen a major death by now. And sadly, this chapter may change that. Somehow Bakugo is able to stand again. This shocks everyone, including Shigaraki and Best Jeanist. Jeanist calls for him, but Bakugo simply tells his mentor to take care of everyone. What we all know by now to be very chilling words when it comes to the realm of shonen. Then we see a heavily injured, manic Bakugo who says he still has a fight to win and mentions Deku. This dialogue from Bakugo actually means a lot. Instead of referring to his childhood rival as Deku, Bakugo calls him Izuku. Despite the stakes presented, seeing this growth is something I will never get tired of. Meanwhile, Best Jeanist is still doing his best to stop Bakugo. He calls out to the young hero and even prepares to restrain Bakugo with his quirk. Not only is this a defining moment for Bakugo, but for Jeanist as well. We've always seen him as reserved and professional.
Yeah, he actually died in the season 3.
Now he is practically begging his student to back down from Shigaraki, despite encouraging him to rejoin the fight previously. The current reaction from Best Jeanist is such a big turn from his usual, so things have really and truly hit the fan. And unsurprisingly, things will continue to get worse and worse as the chapter continues on. Suddenly, Bakugo moves so fast he is blitzing Shigaraki. And the way it's drawn, it reminds me of the twinkles within One
Holy
for All.
moly.
Whether or not that's an honest coincidence, we'll have to find out.
That was a crazy attack.
However,
right there.
That is not the most important thing to notice. It's how Shigaraki reacts to Bakugo. Firstly, the young hero is able to literally predict Shigaraki's movements in battle, which ties in perfectly to what we saw a few chapters back. Bakugo was analyzing the way Shigaraki fights. Originally, I believed it was to find his weakness. Now it is clear Bakugo is watching Shigaraki to learn how to counter him. Speaking of, everyone is shocked that Bakugo was able to avoid Shigaraki so effortlessly. Then we are reminded of Bakugo's quirk and learn some new cluster bomb information. But before we jump into that, I would like to point out that Bakugo is so fast, he moved before Shigaraki could react. Insane reflexes. His speed seems to be as if it may be the hero's saving grace. Sadly, his movement is due to cluster bomb side effect. From the narration, it is clear Bakugo himself wasn't aware of this side effect. Due to his explosive sweat being so condensed, there is a massive strain on Bakugo's sweat glands. Because Bakugo continued to add to the strain, the condensed sweat dispersed throughout his body, needing an exit. This explains what we saw several chapters ago. Bakugo didn't have a quirk awakening. This was cluster. He has become like a ticking time bomb. The explosions going on within his body are exactly why he is able to outmaneuver Shigaraki. Honestly, this side effect of cluster reminds me of what All Might first told Deku, that One for All could literally explode his body. We are seeing something similar with Bakugo, except it is small explosions literally destroying him from the inside out. In fact, Bakugo admits his whole body is throbbing from pain. He feels as if his body is literally falling apart, but it is also improving. The improvement statement is odd considering the pain he is going through.
I don't like the look of that face, though.
It is foreshadowing for
Looks
an awakening.
terrible.
Either way,
like dripping blood.
Bakugo sees the parallel between himself and Deku. He wonders if this immense pain and going beyond his limits is exactly what Deku has been doing this entire time. After all, Deku is destroying his own limbs in the pursuit of Plus Ultra. And it's not just that. Bakugo wonders if he will ever reach Deku's level. He sees Deku above him, accepts it, and sympathizes with him. And truly, a Bakugo fan could not ask for a better panel to display Bakugo's growth. The question shows so much character development on his end. Interestingly enough, the panel in which Bakugo wonders if he'll amount to Deku is a close-up of Bakugo's face. While it appears he may have lost an eye, we can see his remaining pupil now resembles the pattern of cluster. Again, are we close to a quirk awakening? If not, it's certainly a cool effect. Yet that question is going to have to wait. Shigaraki sees Bakugo's speed and his anger, but it's more than that. Shigaraki is losing his composure, which is rare. Shigaraki has been gloating and in control of the battlefield this entire brawl. The young hero's speed can only remind Shigaraki of one thing: the second One for All user. And something tells me All for One really struggled against the second. He is so focused on Bakugo, all he can see is the second. Talk about a ghost from his past. So yeah, all those theories about Bakugo being connected to the second user, hey, they may not be 100% correct, but there was a connection nonetheless. I will say that this has me leaning towards the ancestor side of the spectrum, however. Anyway, Shigaraki is so distraught and it is written all over his face. The parallel also causes
This guy's
Shigaraki
a monster.
to have a bit of a tantrum. He sees Bakugo as average, someone not worth his time because of All For One's obsession with One For All users. Simply overcome with rage and his arm posed to attack, Shigaraki harshly told Bakugo to die. Then we get a visual treat. There's this amazing art of an angry Shigaraki and a cool, calm, collected, cluster-eyed Bakugo. Two sides battling it out, not to mention it is refreshing to see Shigaraki so angry. This scene also proves Bakugo's eye isn't merely an accident. Something is happening. We just don't know what yet. Now just before impact, Bakugo envisions All Might's vestige and himself. Though Bakugo is dressed in his UA uniform, and they are in a space that is unknown to us. This white space is neither the area between All For One and One For All we saw during the war,
How is he able to
nor the
see
vestige
that?
world.
That's
Bakugo and
impossible.
the vestige of All Might are somewhere completely different. It's been a while since we've seen All Might's vestige, so this will be interesting without a doubt. The vestiges in their world are always so interesting, although regrettably, there is no new lore this time around. Instead, Bakugo looks confused, but then remembers something. He sheepishly tells the vestige, which Bakugo immediately recognizes as All Might, talk about odd, that he wanted his All Might trading card signed.
Well, at least
but
he
because
has
of how they
confidence
met
in
and the
himself.
events surrounding them, he never quite got a chance to ask. Honestly, truthfully, genuinely, when this scene was leaked, I knew this chapter would be golden. Bakugo is so vulnerable right now. It is perhaps the most human he has ever been. Plus, it reminds us that Bakugo is just a kid. Despite the fact that he is fighting the big bad that is Shigaraki, Bakugo still admires people and looks up to them. In his final moments, all he can think about is getting All Might's autograph. I could gush about this forever, but let's talk about what else we see. Bakugo also has a flashback of him and Deku as children. Really, this is a look back on Bakugo's growth as a character. We have come so far from the little bully we saw in the beginning. This chapter is clearly for Bakugo fans. Unfortunately though, that sentiment isn't held for long. After that interaction between Bakugo and All Might's vestige, we are taken immediately back into the fight. Tamaki, a bloody Miruko, and Nejire all attack Shigaraki
They
at
are
once.
still fighting this
Meanwhile,
guy?
it looks as if Mirio was attempting to grab Bakugo. He had to phase through both
It's a
Bakugo
suicide
and
battle,
Shigaraki
Big Three.
instead. The threads of Genus grab Bakugo as well as seemingly secure Shigaraki,
How long can I keep this
so that
up?
2/3 of the Big Three and Miruko can attack. Finally, we are seeing the heroes work together in harmonic sync. If only this had happened sooner, but it is worth the wait. That aside, there is tragedy in this chapter. Regardless of the multitude of attacks and teamwork involved, Shigaraki manages to stab Bakugo. And this attack successfully destroys
Oh my
Bakugo's gear
goodness.
on his back. It
That
is
is
insanely
painful.
powerful. But just as that happens, multiple weather reports come in from the Kanto Chubu Kansai regions. The reports are all the same. Clouds have appeared in the sky. This is unexpected considering it was clear beforehand. What adds to this mystery is the cause for these clouds. It is reported that a fast change in temperature, specifically heat rising, is the reason for a cloudy day. We also see civilians comment that it is going to rain. The temperature paired with Bakugo create all sorts of theories, but those will surely get their own videos. In between the news report is Bakugo as he goes flying from Shigaraki's attack. Vegeta tries to catch a student, and you can really see how shaken up he is from all this.
You can't tell if he's
After
still
all, it's like when
alive
All
or
Might
he's
saw
dead.
Deku during the war arc. To add insult to Bakugo's injury, there's also Shigaraki's own haunting words. He states Bakugo was only replaying their fight from before, so why would he think this time would be any different? We also learn that Shigaraki's body has fully become one. As he puts it, the Demon Lord's body is now fully realized. Clearly, it is a new entity between All For One and Shigaraki speaking. Dust settles as we see a completely diabolical Shigaraki. Neither of his eyes have pupils, and he looks absolutely nightmarish. To match his looks, Shigaraki also declares his story begins right here. And I got
That guy
to be
is
honest,
scary.
Final boss music definitely played
I don't
in my
like
head once I read
Shigaraki.
that line.
Not
I
one
knew
bit.
the heroes were in trouble before, but now with a fully merged Shigaraki with no Deku in sight, things are disastrous. On the flip side, there is a panel of Bakugo's mom. She remarks that Bakugo hates rain. But right after that is one of the most heartbreaking panels we have ever seen with this series. Every hero present from Best Genius to Monoma is in utter disbelief as they see Bakugo with a huge gaping wound.
Oh my goodness,
That
everyone's
explosive
pissed off.
pressure finally made its
Even
way
Mr. Aizawa
out,
with the
and
missing
right out
eye.
of his heart, his beating, now bleeding heart. Bakugo really cannot catch a break. Last war arc we saw him as a human skewer, now it is this explosive heart moment. Either way, this definitely had me on the edge of my seat. This entire arc has been so great so far, but I did not think Horikoshi would maim, if not possibly kill, someone as big as Bakugo. Not only that, but Best Genius is the one who now sees the mortally wounded Bakugo. It is such a twisted moment with such beautiful symbolism at that I love Horikoshi for it. We have this 2-page spread that could just make anyone tear up. Bakugo is lying peacefully on the grass,
Oh my
but his
goodness.
chest and face are covered in blood.
So that's how he
and
died.
the wound on his chest is a massive gaping hole. His eyes look
That's so
lifeless,
terrifying to look
and there
at.
is no single cluster. This might really and truly be the end for Bakugo. He has received nothing but punishment from Shigaraki, and on the opposite side of that, it appears Shigaraki has achieved his goal. The infamous villain had recently mentioned that he wanted to leave the corpse of Bakugo for Deku. Shigaraki wanted to force Deku to go feral from rage, and I fear an actually dead Bakugo will do just that. And now what is that next to the fallen hero? His All Might trading card that he wanted signed. Horikoshi, you're a cruel man. You had this man hold on to this trading card all this time, like hoping, maybe this is the moment,
This is
I
all
show
too
All Might
much.
this card and get it signed. And now
This is hard
he's
to
covered
explain for
in
myself,
blood
but
by the creature,
I can't
the
believe what I'm
entity
looking at.
that is arguably closest to All Might in his prime.
This is insane.
Wow. Death doesn't happen in My Hero Academia often, but when it does, it hits hard. I never saw Horikoshi killing off Bakugo, so this chapter has been nothing but a wild card. Truly, if we were talking about My Hero Academia during and past the overall arc, this is peak right now. The violence, the gore, the fights, the stakes, the casualties, the depravity. It is all up there at a 10. Horikoshi is not disappointing. And I know a bunch of you are hoping Horikoshi says psych in a couple of chapters from now, but I must say that I do hope that this is permanent because this is really, really impactful the way it is. And there is still so much meaningful stuff that we can do with this from here regardless. Shonen Jump Magazine is going to be on break next week, but best believe we are going to be holding you guys over with plenty of content when it comes to all this insanity here on the channel. So please stick around, make sure that you are subscribed. And
Okay. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen enough. Okay. So, let me get this out of the way before I close up. The only reason Bakugo was so mad, that he was so pissed off of everyone that he really hated, was the only reason is because he didn't get autograph from All Might's card. That's why he was been acting so arrogantly, or I don't know. It's just, that's messed up. Well, so all he wanted was an autograph from All Might. So that's why he was upset. That's why he wasn't that nice from the beginning. And yet, Shigaraki's plan is to make Deku angry. Because if you make Deku angry, it's over. And the part where you guys are wondering, will Bakugo be revived or not? I get a lot of, I go on Instagram and just see the manga from that, and I just see a lot of, texts from, saying that maybe All Might will probably give his power to Bakugo, or he'll probably be revived from there. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's possible because he's lying there dead. I don't know if he can be revived in time, but I'm hoping that Deku comes and rescue the day. Rescue him, because I'm not sure if, how can I put this? I don't know how long this battle will last, but if Deku really arrives in time, he might be a little bit too late, but if he does arrive, I hope he kicks Shigaraki's butt. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if he might win or survive, but he has to do what he can to beat up Shigaraki before he kills everyone, because there's not a whole bunch of survivors left, but they're still fighting. So, Bakugo's dead. Okay? So, yeah. Rest in peace, Bakugo. Even though I really did not like you at first, but you really had a heart of a hero. Fighting like that. I mean, I didn't think he was going to go down dead like that. That was kind of crazy. But anyway, that's all I have for today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later, and be sure to stay tuned for more update videos along the way. Peace.